Hello, everyone. It truly is the Sunday at CancellationCon 2020. I hope you're all having a good con, and I hope that staying indoors isn't treating you too poorly. But without further ado, this is Maddie's Masquerades, and I'm about to start my panel for the history of an obscure yet enduring franchise, Winx Club. Winx Club is created by the Italian animation company Rainbow. It started airing on the Rai on in Italy back in January of 2004. Its first arrival in the US was back in June of 2004 on what was then called the Fox Box on the Fox network. That the original dub of it was produced by 4Kids Entertainment, and which is where the original opening you may remember come. We are the Winx, we are the Winx, come join the club. That itself is part of the 4Kids Entertainment dub. The show originally ran for 3 seasons, as it always was. All three of those seasons were dubbed, and the English version was produced by 4Kids Entertainment. But the series was going to end with a movie known as Winx Club: The Secret of the Lost Kingdom. The movie in Italy premiered in theaters, but it wouldn't see an official release in the US for a while, due in part to 4Kids having a lot of financial problems at the time following the loss of Pokemon, as well as them losing a lot of their money with Chaotic. Not One Piece, Chaotic. I'm sorry. Yes, that is a rumor, but that's a story. That whole thing is a rumor, but that's a story for a different video. Anyway, 4Kids sat on the rights for Winx Club as they had to until until around 2010, when the rights to Winx Club were bought by Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon uh, merged the first 2 seasons into 4 hour-long specials, all of which aired on the Nick Network. Uh, they were they redubbed all of season 3, and then for the first time ever in the US, we got the movie Winx Club: The Secret of the Lost Kingdom, which resolved the cliffhanger that was mentioned at the end of season 3, where Bloom finally gets to meet her parents again. And then they dubbed season 4, which was already announced to be airing in Italy, but again, 4Kids' financial problems interfered with that. So, but Nickelodeon decided. Oh, and the second movie, Winx Club Magical Adventure, but that was cut to an hour-long special airing on Nick as well. The movies were done in CGI at the time, while the TV series still had a mix of traditional animation and CGI at certain points. But Nickelodeon had announced one other thing. They'd announced that they'd be co-producing season 5 and season 6, causing the show to run a little longer than it did in Italy. Now, here is where I'm going to get a little bit into the narrative parts. Now, many people believe that whenever people talk about cartoon characters that don't age and they run for very long, they usually think about Pokemon or The Simpsons. And I can see why. Pokemon and The Simpsons have been on for even longer than Winx Club. They're much more popular and they remain in production forever. But one unique thing people liked about Winx when it was airing was that the characters would actually grow. They would get older as the series progressed, and throughout season 3 and 4, they were discussing graduating, getting engaged. The Winx themselves became teachers at Althea. But then, starting in season 5, somehow they aged backwards, and they sometimes were teaching classes, and sometimes they were attending the classes. I mean, you know what? I mean, at least Ash Ketchum and Bart Simpson never really aged, and Winx always seemed to carry a lot more continuity with it than Pokemon and especially The Simpsons ever did. like it was something that it felt like you had to watch from the beginning to always understand what was going on. Unlike Simpsons, which has zero continuity at all, and Pokemon, which while it retains some, it's not necessarily required. Anyway, a few people on the Rainbow staff were actually upset by this decision. Contrary to popular belief, Eugenio Straffi, the creator, actually wasn't, but we'll get to that in a sec. But that's not really what killed it. Nickelodeon did their whole screwed by the network practice, and they had this really weird and haphazard airing of season 6. Season 5 actually aired very smoothly. I mean, 4 aired 2 episodes a week, of course, to try to get to the new 5, but season 6, sometimes they were just waiting like months to air an episode. Now, that's nothing really new in Nickelodeon practices. I mean, it's happened with some of their originals over the years, like Harvey Beaks or Kung Fu Panda Legend of Awesomeness. But for a show that actually has a continuing story, that's a little jarring. I myself almost quit the show because of that. But if they actually released a bunch of episodes online exclusively, and the series moved to Nick Jr. of all places. Um, so after season 6 ended on Nick Jr., the Nickelodeon announced that they would be dropping out of producing any more seasons of the show, and then Rainbow themselves went back to produce season 7. This eventually did still air on Nick Jr. because Nick still owned the airing rights to it. So, but did the series end there? Kind of and kind of not. After that, a new spin off was announced for Netflix. It was called World of Winx. They don't. This sort of takes place in an alternate universe and an alternate continuity to the main series. Althea doesn't even really exist in this series, and it takes place primarily on Earth. The Winx themselves seem to be the only real main characters brought over. The Tricks and the Specialists are nowhere to be seen here. This show ran for 2 seasons and is still available for viewing on Netflix US. But then Rainbow took the helm again for season 8 of Winx. I haven't been to actually finish this one because it didn't really go to the US legally at all, but it is currently being released on the official Winx Club YouTube channel if you want to watch it legally. I won't tell if you don't, but I won't guide you to any areas. So, I don't know if this is actually going to air on TV in the US, because I do know that Nickelodeon actually bought some of Rainbow's stock when they were getting 5 and 6, which is why they aired 2 of Nickelodeon's other series, Regal Academy and 44 Cats. I also recently read about a live-action series based on Winx coming soon called Fate the Winx Saga. I don't know very much about it because very few details have been released about it, but I saw some of season 8 and World of Winx and it wasn't all that bad, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. Well, I don't really have much else that I'd like to say, but I'm reading the comments. Any questions? Any comments? Anything anyone wants to say? I did not expect this video to be 10 minutes long, I guess. That's kind of a disadvantage to not having PowerPoint panels. Alright, let me play a song while waiting. Oh, let's see. Hmm. Actually, I'm gonna play the original 4Kids theme song because not too many because I feel like that song is becoming forgotten. 4Kids opening 1. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. All right, turning the phone around. Oh, got it. Oh, I got a question. Okay, hold on a second. Who is my favorite character? My favorite character in the show, I'm honestly not really sure. I'm gonna have to go with either Musa, Flora, or Aisha, or Layla as she was originally known. Again, that's not entirely a 4Kids name, but the reason I like these characters a lot is because, well, I feel like Aisha was a new character added, and she wasn't just a lame attempt to boost ratings. She, it felt like she was kind of a shakeup brought to the show based after the like she kind of became the voice of reason among some of the other craziness. I'm not mad that she ended up with a boyfriend. I'm actually happy for that about that, but that because that just showed how well rounded her character is. So yeah, you know what? I'm just forget it. I'm gonna say it. Aisha slash Layla is my favorite character. Why is the fandom so small? Well, I think it's because lack of publicity, I guess. Really. I mean, Saturday mornings weren't exactly what they used to be when the show first started airing on the Fox box. Not to mention Italian animation isn't really as popular as US or a Japanese animation is. There's some magical girl influence going on, and some people believe that the show ripped off Sailor Moon, and some believe Harry Potter. So some people just thought that it kind of so some people believe that it just happened because of that. Of course, I'm not upset that it's too small because there's some really big fandoms that think that they're entitled just because they're big. Universe, but I'm actually kind of happy that it's a small fandom because it feels like they've all come together and they're happy about it. Do you remember a show called Witch? Animation looks similar. Yes, I do remember Witch. I mentioned it in my Western Magical Girl panel. With my A lot of people do believe that one show ripped off the other, but in a similar fashion to Pokemon and Digimon, they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. I do remember there was a brief witch reference in one of the 4Kids episodes of Winx where Stella says that the group should be called BSMTF, but other than that, there's really nothing else that similar about them except they're a bunch of magical girls, and one of them has red hair. That's it. But yeah, I do really enjoy both shows. And they each have their own things that make them unique, and they have their own things that make them similar, just like Pokemon and Digimon. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I do remember promising this panel was going to run about 20 minutes, but but wow, it's only 13. So, anybody else have any questions? I'll continue playing the opening, and if I see nothing until that's done, I'll just sign off. Just don't touch the hair. We are the Winx, we are the Winx, come join the club, we are. Well, this is Maddie's Masquerade signing off. I hope you enjoyed the panel, and I hope the rest of you have a good cancellation con. See you later.